Hi guys, this is M Seeker of Truth, and welcome to the very first Griftbusters. Now, guys, before we start today, I want to make a quick opening statement and just say, what a wonderful time to be alive. And just remember, Jesus loves you, even if Griftbusters know that you're a twat. Okay, guys, so let's open up and we'll go around the room. I want to introduce, we've got Justice, my compadre from our collaborations, Just Truths. We've also got Tony from the Veritas Machine channel. And we've also got Will from Cold Beer Confessionals channels. Hi, guys. Right. So just before we start, I just want to say that, this grift busting, it's not a hate thing. It's literally, we want to expose liars, grifters, con men, scammers, people that are taking advantage of people's vulnerabilities, gullibilities, just seeking popularity or even your money. So we think that's important. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, they're preying on people for sure.
Well, I mean, my only question is, who are you gonna call?
That's it.
Griftbusters.
That's it.
Yeah, much the same. They are predatory individuals for the most part. The people that we decide to go in on, and yeah, it's never our intention to go and just discredit people for the sake of it. But truth is truth, and it doesn't care about your feelings, as Charlie Ward says. So
yeah, truth is one thing. It's not several things. It's one.
What's that, bud? Thing is your truth, man.
Right.
I'd have said not that he cares about your feelings. Reference to Justice's interview with Charlie Ward, where he called people that that got affected by what he says jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
So, yeah, no, guys. So I just quickly want to say, how we first met. Obviously, recently, I brought out a video called 30 Reasons I Don't Trust Charlie Ward, which has caused quite a stir. Yeah, and so obviously me and Justice have known each other for quite a while. We worked together.
Got you nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, by the way. I just want you to.
Thank you. But I felt it was very important to make that video, especially since with Justice had done a few videos and I'd done a few videos, and we'd done a lot of research, and we'd found a lot of stuff that was removed from social platforms. He shut down his own YouTube, and this guy was gaining millions of followers apparently, and he was saying some very questionable things, and people weren't questioning him, and all of this stuff that we knew about that's in the 30 Reasons, a lot of it had disappeared. So I felt it was important. I had all of this information, and I felt it was my duty to society to try and make something that people will listen to. And actually, I was quite surprised. I think across all platforms, across all mirrored channels, and BitChute and Rumble and things, I think it's nearing 100,000 views, which is for my small channel phenomenal. But it just goes to show how many people, were interested to hear what I want to say. And we'll go into in a bit. But a lot of people didn't want to hear it or didn't want to watch the video and wanted to comment on the video before even watching it. But let's talk about it. So yeah, so I had seen that people were sending me links, this guy has reviewed it, and Will of Cold Beer from Confessionals, I think, was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. Made me laugh. I think it was your birthday, and you were like, "What a great birthday present!"
Yeah, I had no idea that I was telling Veritas last night, or Tony from Veritas, but I was saying I had no idea that other people were out here doing this. Like, I just get drunk and wander around the internet and talk about shit, but I had no idea that people were actually doing research and going through it all and setting it up, even interviews. I had no idea.
It's kind of like being an explorer. You're exploring, and then you find this island, and then there's like these cool people on this crazy island. You know what I mean? And we're just doing the same shit, right? We just have the same ideas. We're looking at these people, and we're questioning, because a lot of people are just going in blind. They're just going in blind to the whole thing and not looking at any. The saying goes, painting the red flags white. right?
Right.
They're painting the red flags white in their imagination because people want to believe. And, you know, it's that hopium, you know, we've talked about this before, right? Is that hopium, that narcotic feeling of emotional satisfaction. You know, you want emotional satisfaction, go have some mac and cheese, right? have a curry. You know, go get something that comforts your soul. Eat something, right?
But the soul food.
Exactly. And I feel like this is hitting a lot in those same veins. These are people that are popular. They're people that seem to claim they have these contacts and information, you know. And Will, being ex-military, knows better than anybody what happens if you give away classified information. He knows the rules on that.
Yeah, they play around and they LARP without having any grasp of how things actually work. It's amazing, and even they have military followers that just don't want to believe any of that as long as they get to believe what they want to believe.
I think that's the that's the key thing. You know, what people want to believe, and you know, and we say this word hopium. And you know, really, what that means is it's just it is literally just feeding people what they want, and people, because they want that, you know,
Right.
us telling people what we see as reality, or showing people major red flags, people will just come out with anything to hope that we go away, disappear, stop talking, stop helping people.
Well, this is it. This is the main part. This is crazy how that conversation just developed so quickly from the 30 Reasons thing, really, because I actually now see there as being quite a clear distinction between us going against the grifters themselves and the people that follow them, you know. Trying to debunk whatever it is they're trying to push is super easy, you know. We do that all day long. It doesn't really take very long for the most part, but trying to genuinely actually help people see past the fabrication is a whole different ball game, and I really don't feel like we've got the grips of that yet.
Yeah, we got a taste of that the other day when we jumped on that live. Me and Tiz jumped on our big Q page live.
Yeah, that was a different kind of flex.
Gives you a different perspective.
But,
it's like you say, it's easy enough. Well, you say it's easy enough. You know, it seemed easy enough. It was pretty easy. A lot of people think, well, oh, wow, how are you getting all this information? Well, we just looked. And, you know, the hardest part literally is getting people to watch your video. And I found that, you know, like I say, nearly 100,000 views on the 30 Reasons. And, you know, a lot of those views have probably come from people that have not even got past my intro. You know, I'm still getting a lot of comments saying, well, that's not true because of this. And it's just like, but I proved this in the 30. You haven't got past 10 minutes, have you? You haven't. And we can see that.
It's because they can't, you know, they can take the energy and the time and the effort to go and message you about it, but they can't physically actually get past the point of withdrawing from the hopium, you know? That's
They get nauseated.
And
they're
so,
like, oh, this is too much, man.
Just like that smack, man. Just like kicking that smack. They're start throwing up. They're gonna get sick. Yeah.
Truth.
It's
I just want to stay in the
bubble. When we was with Huna Flash, you know, and Huna Pa and Huna Ahor said that they felt abused by what we did. Do you know what I mean? I don't even apologize for what we felt was, you know, they could take offense to, but other than that, they felt abused by the fact that we had gone against, you know, Huna's ideology, and that was actually abusive. Now, I just feel like it's equally important. You know, I mean, I don't even, you know, me and Tony have spoke a few times and whatnot. Obviously, I've known them for a little while. Me and Coldplay Confessions haven't even really spoken. So I know that none of us, you know, are really reaping in loads of money off this. I personally don't get any, you know. So it's not something that we do to profit, and it's not something that we do just to, you know, make fun of and abuse people or do anything like that. This is purely nothing but trying to expose things that people are being drawn into that are clear, you know, distractions on different levels.
My reward is literally all of the, you know, all the tons of people that have commented on my channel and said about how much you know, my videos have helped them. And, you know, I've said this in other videos, you know, mental health is extremely important to me. It's very close to my heart. Personal experiences with it, you know, family, friends. You know, I'm very aware of how easy it is to you know, for you to have adverse reactions and for your mental health to drastically decline, and people you know, pinning their hopes on things, and these hopes being destroyed because you know, the guys that were throwing out this information were doing it for views and likes. You know, it's something I couldn't deal with, and especially with the Greg Hallett situation. For those any viewers that don't know, you know, he was a guy claiming that he was king, well, of the world basically, but you know, he was claiming to be king of England, and you know, people were eating it up. I mean, like chowing on this or anything that he said. You know, he was very convincing, but you know, people were giving him money. They were giving him at a time where they were out of work. You know, I've seen comments of people saying, you know, I'm out of work because of COVID. There was people commenting, look, I know that you're going to be in Buckingham Palace next week, and I've given you my last £100, you know, and I'm thinking they've basically taken food off their children's table for this grifter because he thinks that he's going to get in and he's going to get rid of, you know, satanic paedophile royalty and whatnot. And this guy was an arsehole.
What is he just going to ride across the moat on a freaking white steed? And,
no, he literally said he's going to trot in on a white horse through the gates of Buckingham Palace.
There you go.
You called it.
For the paint to dry and the smell to go in Buckingham Palace. This was in June, right? And people were waiting in July for him to be the King of England. And of course, it didn't happen. We saw that not happening.
Just past me, yeah.
Everyone else did, and they were throwing money at him. And that's why I created my channel.
Well, this is the thing. This is how me and M got into the whole Charlie Ward situation, and it's very important. Usually, right, the internet is a very unforgiving place. You know, you fuck up a few times, and people are going to know about it. But it seems like this guy obviously deleted his own channel, but other than that, he seems to just escape all of this madness. So Charlie Ward came about from this Greg Hallett situation. He was a nobody before that. His channel was nothing. You know, he was getting 100 or so views down to like 80 odd, 70 odd, 60 odd.
As soon as June, as recently as June, you're saying he had that view?
Yeah, the beginning of 20.
He was that close.
Doing this stuff, and then
I thought the Greg Hallett thing was at least last year. I didn't realize. I mean, last year, but you know, more than a year ago.
Yeah, no, it was 2020. Yeah,
kind of went into obscurity around October time, but through May to October. He had a massive following and was getting a lot of donations, and people were totally.
Like I say, that is where Charlie Ward's subscription base came from. That's where his channel traffic came from, was the fact that he was the guy that had the platform that was bringing about the exposure of this new king that was going to save everyone and was part of, you know, the white hats and all the rest of it.
Question.
Greg Hallett made him famous.
Question. So you're telling me that clearly, after the Greg Hallett lie, he was able to turn a turn two and get the crowd to stay and turn them to the freaking other thing? Is that what you're telling me?
He just
see that I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought they might have just all unfollowed him.
He admitted to you, didn't he?
Mate,
didn't he? Go ahead.
Obviously, we're going to get into things that he said later, but these things are things that people would be destroyed for, you know, and he seems to just ride them. And
I think that this is
like
probably
Lex Luthor, really. I mean, he's like,
yeah, he gets away with murder, and I think maybe murder is literally the only thing that he hasn't done that he's, you know, for his followers to then forgive him for.
He's worked with several mafias.
Save the children. Number 19 from the 30 Reasons.
We're going to play tape 19 here. You have the ball.
Number 19 from the 30 Reasons was, you know, that's what caused a lot of the controversy.
Number 19. Charlie procured underage girls for pop stars on the Top of the Pops. This is disgusting, and I'll let him explain.
Really, many years ago, I was involved with a certain television personality that allowed me access into the BBC. I used to be able to get onto a very famous program called Top of the Pops. And a lot of the girls would say to me, Charlie, get me on Top of the Pops. And I could take probably 5 or 10 girls on a week. And I said, well, I'll take you on, but you'll end up having to shag the bloke that, if you know, he'll probably want to shag. And they were like, no problem, we come, you know. And there was never a problem.
Right.
Now, 30 years on,
Dave knows.
and their marriage is
bought a new
dissolved, and they're in
anomaly
their
as well.
50s and 60s. It's suddenly become a problem. It wasn't a problem all those years ago.
Right, exactly.
And I remember these girls saying, I'm quite happy to come there. So I'm very, very careful. Now, there is a lot of bad things
What
going on.
were those age
through
numbers
the
again?
internet. And there was bad things going on there because a lot of these
And
girls were young girls, you know. And back in the sort of 80s, I didn't think anything of it. The moral compass was out of sync, I think, then.
Like, guys, that was massive. Like, he's going to be about saving children from tunnels. He literally admitted that he used to take underage young girls onto the set, the BBC set, Top of the Pops. Around that time, Jimmy Savile was the host of Top of the Pops. However, I think mid 80s it changed to another host. Could have been someone else. Who knows? There's lots
It was
of
somebody else. He would have known better and been savvy enough to say that it was the other guy. He would have said Top of the Pops. Not that he.
Well,
Everybody knows who Jimmy Savile is in England.
It's like to say, one of the first things that I noticed that I hadn't noticed before, and I've watched that clip a few times, is that he says 5 to 10 girls a week. Now, I don't know what type of time period he's speaking about, but that seems like a lot of fucking girls, mate. And I can't imagine he's speaking about taking the same girls every single time, you know what I mean? So, what?
Even if it's 6 months, that's a hell of a lot of girls, a hell of a lot of underage young girls. That's a hell of
2 weeks, 5 to 10 a week, and you've got 20 who
2 weeks. It's a long time.
Really, like that. How? You know, because he said 5 to 10. You know, it's at least 5 to 10, and that's enough for him to be like a prolific procurer in most people's eyes. You know, I mean, if you've delivered 5 to 10 girls to the hands of one of these people, mate, you're pretty sufficient in this, yeah.
one underage girl is too many, right? Surely.
But he tells us, and it's clearly there is a contradiction in these two stories of what we see and then what we hear later. Like, it's not memorialized in the internet.
Right.
It's like he doesn't get how this stuff works.
It's David Nino Rodriguez and his complacency with this. You know, Charlie Ward says this, you know, and surely any normal person would be like, especially someone that's made Pedo Wood documentary.
Yes, that's how he got his start.
Yeah, so he's made that, and then he's got a guy on his channel who he loves and admires, and is obviously giving him a lot of following as well. And he's just like, yeah, right, yeah, and it's just like, what? You should be like, hang on a minute, what did you just say? You should be, and everyone else as well. I mean, they do look, a couple of them, the panel look a bit kind of like, okay, let's move on. But David Nino Rodriguez, and he put out videos just after my 30 Reasons when people were getting pissed off about it. They were sending him messages too. He'd watched it and he came on. And he was so solemn and he deleted the video near enough soon afterwards. I got to see it, and he was just like, "Look, Charlie Ward is my friend." He looked so upset, man. He looked really upset. He was like, "Charlie Ward, my friend. People are bashing him. You know, he's a good guy. He's trying to get out the truth. You know, please stop hating on him. You know, we try our best. We put our necks on the line, you know." And he didn't mention any of the other 30 reasons. Of course, he didn't mention that reason either. All he said was, people are saying that he gives false information sometimes, like his information's wrong. He doesn't mention number 19. I would have loved for him to have gone, right, well, let's talk about number 19. No, he missed that. He frames my video as only saying that Charlie Ward has been off with his predictions and dates, and he does not mention, you know, the underage young girls,
right? Or what he said about their ages then, and what they were a certain age at a certain point. Look, even if you're in a situation like that where you're bringing girl, even if they're of age, okay, it's out of line. It's out of line. Some people, yeah, they want to go and they want to party and blah, blah, blah. But I just always thought, and I've seen this in Hollywood a lot. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of this stuff, and it just always made me uncomfortable. Like, You know,
Yeah, man.
there's some hoes in this house. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's right. There's sometimes there, and I'm sure that some of the girls that went with him were totally fine with it, have had no problems with it, you know, and were of age, you know, but that's not what we're talking about here, right? So we can't get distracted on, oh, it was the 80s and everybody was just really coked out. That's not how it works with underage girls.
Right.
He then got a lot of backlash for this, but so your point was, how does he get away? He promoted a king who was not a king, who had lied, and he knew about the lie, and then he got away with that. And people just went, okay, yeah, he talked his way out of it. He has the gift of the gab. So basically, he did not want to address me. He said in his private Telegram group, don't address him. I don't want to address him. You know, I've got intel that he was formerly a disgraced police officer that got fired for letting drug dealers off the hook. Completely fabricated story. And as I said in the follow-up video, you know, because David Mahoney then accused me of it and made this ridiculous video, which I then debunked. Guys, go and see it. It's called Exposing Conmen and Disinformation, I think. And it's got him and Lee Dawson saying, you know, this guy is a former, we're waiting for verification of this, but we've got 3 witnesses that say that
he's like, I like this idea. I like this rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like, and I said in my video, I immediately put out a follow-up video. I said, look, if I was an ex-police officer, I would share that. I wouldn't be ashamed. I'm not. I question your sources of where you got this information. But what I will say is ask him for the verification, ask him for the evidence, ask him for the facts, because there will be none, because it is fabricated. It's a fabricated story because I'm discrediting, I am debunking, we are, you know, you are getting hot fire. I made that video, which, you know, many people took attention to, and then you were like, right, Charlie Ward was like, right, what can we say? An ex-policeman. I think even David Mahoney says in the video, we know he's an ex-policeman. We're waiting for verification. It's either that or he's a paid operative. So you know I'm a policeman, but it's or it's either that or he's an ex-operative.
The way he says he likes the idea of you being a paid operative. Do you know what I mean? I like
it's
this.
Like Greg Hallett.
Nuts. But like on this point here, right, of Charlie and the gift of the gab, I think it's important to note with the whole Greg Hallett thing. Yeah, at the start he was on Zoom calls, roundtable things with Jack Kidd and Dave Mahoney, the rest of them, and it was all hail King John III. It was all guns blazing for this guy, right? It was fully, he was going to be king. There's no 2 doubts about it. He was fully on board. This guy is going to be the king. Then he just started to disassociate himself. And when he was asked questions about it, he's like, look, Dave Mahoney approached me and just asked if he could do the documentary on him. I said, yeah. And then I've posted the documentary. That's it. And because he didn't feature in the main 4 parts or whatever, like, actually they just posted it on his channel, he's kind of been like, well, I just let him go ahead, do his research, which again, you know, we both asked him like, yo, where was the research? And he's kind of like, yeah, well, there wasn't any. But
exactly,
so yeah, you know, he just disassociated it with himself from it in a very clever way by making sure that he wasn't really too involved, but at the same time there's clear evidence of him pushing the narrative, saying that this is most definitely going to happen, in the same way that he's now doing with the whole QFS system and the rest of it. You know, he was saying that this guy is definitely going to be the king. No 2 doubts about it.
Yeah, man.
I heard him, I think last night on Will's show, talking about how he speaks with the number. He's like the second one in line to get information from the number 3 guy. I don't know. I heard an abacus clicking in the background as he's talking. But this guy is like, there's 3, you know, to carry the 6 and the 4, and there's 2. But he was talking about
numbers behind him,
right?
Yeah,
and he was talking. No, he was talking about how he is second to get information from the person who's like 3rd in line at the QFS bank. When I think we all clearly heard him say he had a meeting of some sort with the guy who was the CEO of QFS or something like that. He didn't say number 2 guy. He said the head of it. And now he's the second in line to get information from the number 3 guy. So here's another like instance where, you know, I know people are going to be watching here today, that are going to be curious. They want to know why we're doing this. They want to know. So these are just start with the 30 points that are on M's videos. Start there. And then check out the rest of our videos, and you're going to get up to about, I think we're up to about 165 reasons at this point with everything we've collected, you know?
Well, we're certainly going to touch on more than the 30 reasons. You know, and I think it's fitting, as this is how us guys met, and this guy is extremely popular, although not as popular as he doctors with his figures, which we will talk about. You know, I think it's fitting that, you know, we're starting to talk about him in our Griftbusters show. But yeah, let's look at his excuse now. I just want to give a shout out to the Aletheia Project.
One guy did something, 30 things I don't know or don't trust about Charlie Ward. Great. Number one, you've never met me. Number two, you haven't got a name or a face. So I don't have any respect for your opinion when you don't have a name or a face. Who are you? Oh, I'm M. Oh, great. Brilliant. I'm C. But somebody was saying that something about Jimmy Savile and to do with paedophilia. And I said, well, first of all, I've never met him. I had gone to Top of the Pops, and I said I took 2 young ladies with me.
Top of the Pops. And a lot of the girls would say to me, Charlie, get me on Top of the Pops. And I could take probably 5 or 10 girls on a week.
I had gone to Top of the Pops, and I said I took 2 young ladies with me.
And I could take probably 5 or 10 girls on a week.
You'll know, as ladies, women like to be called young ladies. Well, somebody interpreted it as like kids, and it wasn't. They were actually 25 years old when I took them.
And there was bad things going on there because a lot of these girls were young girls, you know.
Well, somebody had interpreted it as like kids, and it wasn't. They were actually 25 years old when I took them.
And there was bad things going on there because a lot of these girls were young girls, you know.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say they were under NDAs.
They were all under military NDAs. NDAs.
I mean, what do you guys think about his excuses there? Man,
Well,
he didn't even remember like what he'd said and what he was being accused about. He was like, "All right, so let's."
And this guy's going to tell you about Joe Biden.
I've still got their phone numbers since, and obviously I've known them since the 80s. And obviously he had said, "Oh, they've gone away now. They're pissed off of me because their marriage has fallen through." It's got their phone numbers, and they've gone, "Oh no, you know."
I've got their phone numbers from the cold papers. From the cold papers, I've got their phone numbers. The cold papers that made me leave for Spain.
It makes no sense. His defense makes no sense. You know, to what was exposed, he has.
Hello, I'd like to speak to Miss Plaintiff. Miss Plaintiff.
I mean, yeah. I mean, come on, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, right. This sort of thing here clearly gives us an insight into his other claims, such as being in court. You know, I mean, if he had been, he's fucked. He can't remember shit. You know, he's just gone in, and is it like you say about an? It's not even an excuse. He's just exposed himself as a liar. That isn't any kind of an excuse. Yeah. You know, excuses have to have some sort of logical basis to them. You don't tell us that you've been taking 5 to 10 girls a week to this thing that were under young, you know, and then say, actually, no, it was 2 25-year-olds. Like, am I a dickhead?
You know, somebody made a good point earlier about Dave, that he was like sort of one of the first. I'm of the mind that kind of feels like Dave and some of the other American, you know, broadcasters or truthers or whatever people call them, you know, speakers. You know, I think a lot of them saw the numbers on some of the American, you know, cats and sort of worked that kind of swindle that way. And I think sort of took advantage of Dave, who, you know, look, I mean, I can't imagine that for Dave or for Mel K or Scott or somebody like that they're doing anything else that could possibly make them the kind of cash that they could. It's a gold rush. Oh, yeah. You know, this is an informational bamboozle gold rush.
I've already talked about how Charlie Ward's fans reacted, or they did not. A lot of them did not watch the video before they spoke, and they said, "You're a troll. You're jealous," or what were the other things? Believing the cover story that he just gave, which was absurd. The mate Charlie Ward immediately. I've got a voice note that he put on his Telegram where he tells his Telegram viewers, "Don't feed the troll." I've got information that he was an ex-copper, yeah. So it make up this just fabricated story, and they buy
just
it
to get people to dislike you. He'll just put out anything.
Reasons, including the fact that you procured underage girls 5 to 10 a week for someone on Top of the Pops. Doesn't matter because the guy's a copper.
That's right.
Right? All of that, yeah. And then a lot of people were saying to me, this was their comeback to me, right? They were saying, "But who are you, right? How many followers have you got?" Charlie Ward has 10,017 followers, according to his website, right? So, here's the facts. Charlie Ward does not have 10,017, which the counter was for over a week. So it stayed at 10,017.
Yeah, I swear it was even over a week, bro. It was like 2 weeks. Them man were late.
Well, what, fellas? What do you mean by that? How is that possible? What we look on the computer and we see Charlie Ward has 10 million followers. What do you mean, guys?
Exactly. So they're like, "Look, we've seen he has 10,017 followers. How many do you have for your puny little channel? So why should I trust you?" Well, because no matter how, so is that the indicator of truth now? How many followers you have? Us guys don't have that many followers at all, right? He has
government has
10 million followers, right? But what we did was we went on. You can find these. They're out there. You can use them. The website analytical tools. Yeah, you can find them. There's loads of them out there. Some that you pay for, some that you don't have to. And they will give you statistics on websites. Right? They will tell you how many people have visited that website. So on his website, he's got that. Now it's something like 10 million and 500 and something thousand. At the time, it was 10,017. 17 being the operative. That's an important number. Oh, let's just chuck a 17 in there. They'll believe that. And it'll be like, "Well, must be Q." But no, look, listen. We analysed that. We looked at it, and he had at that time 3.16 million website visits. And these visits could be from the same multiple of them could be from the same person, right? So it is mathematically impossible for him to have had 10 million people sign up as a follower. 3.12 million visits to his website. There's not even enough people, and bear in mind, that doesn't equate to 3.12 million people. That there is not enough people that have been on his website to be followers of that website, right? So I think, and I just want to say as well, there is a lady who's a good friend of ours. It's a YouTube channel, No Ordinary Life 7. So that's No Ordinary Life, one word, 7 the number. And she then was good friend of mine and Justice's, and she's made videos on Charlie Ward, and she went in and she had a look at the website counter, and she broke it down and could see it was doctored.
It was deep.
It was doctored by the doctor, right? So he will have 10 million followers, nowhere near. He has about 50-odd thousand signed up to his Insiders Club, and that's important because that is a lot.
Jesus. A lot of dough.
And that's
a lot of money.
How many times does he do that a week? Once a week? Or is that a monthly fee?
No, it's
a week. On a Saturday, he does a
he does I think once a week, and it's a monthly subscription or a yearly one for 99. Is it 99 euros or dollars?
It's 99 euros a month or 11 euros a week. So if he has around 50,000 people,
Jesus.
I mean, let alone 10 million, which is ridiculous. But if he has 50,000, that is so
like
much
$500,000 a month
money. This guy is rich now. off of the people
I mean,
listening.
I wouldn't say 500,000 because, like, I think you can split it like 40-60 between people that have bought yearly subscriptions or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It would be.
So we go down to what, 350, 350 a month,
It'll be
maybe?
a lot, man. It'll be a lot of money. Like,
That's still a shitload. Hey,
No
man,
matter which way we slice it,
anything over 10, 20 grand a month is a lot of money, bro.
man, I can only dream of money like that, right?
Depending
But there's
how-
no way I'm going to sell my
You have
stock.
to consider as well
and
is how
start
sorted you are
spouting out
already with how much that
ridiculous
money
stuff
is.
that affects
You know
people.
what I mean?
No.
Have you seen in his latest video with Mel K, you know how he's been preaching the quantum financial system, how fair it is? Have you seen that his insider clubs are going to his insider club people are going to get to apply for loans through the quantum financial system before anybody else?
How can you not see through that? You know, so there is going to be a new financial system rolled out globally, right? And if you are a subscriber to a YouTuber expat that lives in Marbella, Spain, right, who has told you that he knows what's going on behind the scenes, if you pay him 11 euros per month, you will be trusted and you will be the first to find out this information about something that's going to change currency globally and affect everyone's life, the 8 billion people on this planet. I mean,
you have to, do you know what I mean? Just logic, like you have to pay fiat currency to join his website to get the new quantum fair financial system at a quicker pace. Brilliant. What are we doing?
Makes so much sense, man.
What are we doing?
Right.
I mean, we should also pull some of the examples where, we could see that Charlie ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Right. Several examples. You guys have any? Oh, here we go.
Let's talk about the cleaning lady.
I'm going to put the pause.
Charlie claims that he rang the central bank and he was on the phone and he got put through to a department and the cleaning lady answered. Now, this cleaning lady was busy dusting the quantum financial system top secret computers, and he had a nice little chat with her about when the QFS is going live. It's ridiculous. And I happen to, it seems ridiculous, but I happen to have obtained the actual CC. I rang up the central bank, right, and they put me through to the same department, right, and the cleaning lady was on shift, and she picked up and she said, "Oh, well, I have access to the CCTV room too." And what she did was she burned off the CCTV of the phone call with Charlie Ward. It did happen. So let's take a look at the CCTV footage from inside the bank with the cleaning lady.
We were doing something else, and I was having a chat with them. And I mentioned the other day I phoned up the central bank because we were doing something else, and I was having a chat with them. They put me through to a department, and the cleaner picked up the phone.
Sadie, the cleaner, with trusty scrubbing brush and pail of water.
I'm like,
hello.
I'm not the Messiah. I'm just Charlie. So can you help me?
Oh, no, I'm just a cleaner. I'm not qualified to give financial advice, but I will do my best to be helpful.
Oh, okay. So how's it going in there?
Oh, well, it's quite quiet. No one here to answer the phones.
What do you think of the new computer system? It's nice, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's beautiful. You're cleaning it just now.
When do you think they're going to turn it on then?
Well, I suppose I haven't signed any non-disclosure agreement, so I can tell any Tom, Dick and Charlie about it. I think it will be the beginning of April. Not long now.
Because she's not under an NDA, she's just being helpful. And I was being naughty.
You are being naughty now. I really must get back to work. These computers are not going to clean themselves.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's awesome.
Clean lady. Okay, now can we all have this for our shows?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was important
That is amazing.
CCTV footage, and I wanted to premiere it on Griftbusters. But yeah, you guys, you can rip it. You can use it on your channels.
Wonderful. Can we say the name of the actress? Can we give her a
Uh,
credit or a shout out? Or she?
fan of our work.
Cool.
And
Well, shout out to the actress who did that. And amazing.
Small disclaimer before people start saying we are fake news. Let's chuck this off here. So small disclaimer. Yes, of course, that was a skit. However, this was the story that Charlie did tell. And the skit was made just to give us all a laugh about the absurdity of what he was saying. This is basically what Charlie had said had happened. He called a central bank. They'd put him through to a department where, of course, the top secrets, quantum financial system computers were installed. And she picked up the phone, as cleaning ladies do, I guess, in banks, and then had said, "Oh yes, well,
it's part of the contract.
I'm with I'm with these top secret computers. I'm cleaning them now. I'm not under a non-disclosure agreement, so of course I'll tell you that they should be switched on at the beginning of April." And that's his story. And he says, I was being a cheeky Charlie. That is absurd. So although we've made fun of it with that skit, and thank you very much to two people. Firstly, the actress who was a fan. And a good friend of mine who'd sent that in that I could play around with to make that. And also Mr. Bozohead, all one word, who I used the base of one of his videos, and he'd made the clip. We all know Mr. Bozohead, right?
He's in chat right now.
Thank you guys. That was great. Yeah, he's in chat.
Shout out to Mr. Bozohead. I feel like maybe we should perhaps play that again later in the show.
Absolutely. And you know what? We would have to, I think, now open the door and welcome any creative people out there who want to do any kind of reenactment. It's going to be this is a tough act to follow. I'm telling you, this is a tough act. This is like coming on after like Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. It's like I'm like F that, but you know what? You got to do it. You got to try, and we welcome all reenactment Charlie Wold clips. Thank you. At least I do. I don't know. You guys think that's a good idea, or should I have asked?
Yeah,
before?
Guys.
Like
guys.
Yeah.
Listen, we really appreciate, and I've always said this in the groups that me and Justice have been part of, and the community that we're a part of, and people that are doing the same thing in their own way. They're not necessarily got a YouTube channel. If they have got a YouTube channel, they might not be putting their face out there. Like Mr. Bozohead, for example, I've extended an invitation for him to guest on a future Griftbusters. We'll see what he says. But the thing is he has a different style. So he may not want to do that, but he may want to send in some interesting content for us to review, and that's great. So guys, if you are creative, if you are researching, if you are finding reasons to not trust, or if you are seeing grifts in action, who are you going to call?
Griftbusters.
Send it in. And what I will do is I will make a page tomorrow on Facebook called Griftbusters, where we will post our content, but also we will invite people to post information of why they don't trust a list full of people. We'll go through a list later. I've got a list for you. A list full of people that are grifters, right? Or have evidence of them grifting, even better. And this will give us, we do appreciate you people. We are not superhuman.
A Griftbusters hotline, if you will.
I can't go through all the Charlie Ward's videos. I can't stomach to go through. I mean, he makes like three videos a day. I rely on you people and pointing out stuff to me. And it was the same back when, with Greg Hallett, I could only do so much. I could only listen to that bloody droning, New Zealand. I've got nothing against New Zealanders. The accent, man, grated on me. I couldn't watch the videos anymore, and I relied on people giving me the information so that I could do good with that information. So thank you everyone that supported us in the past. Thank you everyone that supports us in the future. I will make that page tomorrow for us four on Facebook. So look out tomorrow night. I'll be sending some invites and promote that. And yeah, we'll use that as a home base for information, incoming information, to help expose grifters.
You know,
Sure.
what we haven't now that we've kind of introduced our main guy, who I would consider Charlie to be the godfather in a sense of this. If we're going to talk about connecting things, so let's talk about some of the capos. Okay, let's talk about, you know, we've already got the capo de tutti capi. We've got the head. Now let's talk about the rest of the bits of the map that we've put together. One of the people that I think we could talk about along with Charlie Ward and Will is quite an expert on this gentleman.
Oh no, you talking about Scott McKay?
This is one of the people who has been on Charlie Ward a couple times, but speaks about him a lot more, right, Will?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. The way I found him is, again, I was just wandering around the internet. Someone sent his name in, and I have military service. I was in the military, and he was giving out Purple Hearts, which is the, you know, wounded or killed in action. He was giving out Purple Hearts to his friends who had lost YouTube channels. So we watched the video, and of course I made my jokes. And after the video, I tweeted it, or I sent a tweet to him. And I said, hey, man, I explained it all because he was talking about how much he loved veterans and how much they keep getting shit on by the government. So I said, hey, this is my experience. This is why you shouldn't do that. And it's just not good. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with you on it. And he said, good for you, man. And since then, I've been pretty much covering all of his content ever since, to the point where he's had to address me in the last 6 videos.
And folks ask me all the time, you served in the military. There was some douchebag, some dime store douchebag. I saw this. I did a Patriot Street Fighter search. See what channels I can find. I find this douchebag. This guy's a dime store douche. And his you should. I won't even tell you where to go find it because I'm afraid what you guys will throw at this clown. But hammering away on me pretending that I was a war hero in the military that isn't like the digital Purple Heart. Hey, and I'll concede that digital Purple Heart might be sensitive to some guys. I had somebody else reach out. The digital Purple Heart is for those people whose channels keep going down. They were fighting the digital war. If the digital war is not important, why has Mike, General Flynn, been very distinct on an army of digital soldiers? Why was our back channel 17 influencer? Why was it so important to create an army of digital soldiers? Look, this is the field, but I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls because you know there would be a flaming arrow waiting for you somewhere, but you don't have the fork and guts to fight this war on this level. You think that there are people out there that are saying the shit that I'm saying about these people? There may be now.
He is bringing the smoke.
Raining down this kind of hellfire on these people, calling them out by name in this state of Texas who've been running drugs and trafficking kids for decades. You don't have those guts because you're a pussy. You're a pussy wearing aviator glasses in your mother's basement.
There you go.
Give out your
wearing aviator glasses. Fuck you, Scott.
He's most upset about that the night before he had lost his channel. So he was searching Patriot Street Fighter to see what channel to get, and I was at the top of all the searches.
Yeah. Well done, Will. Round of applause for this man.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
See, the thing that really pissed me off, I did see he had sent all of his followers through Telegram to come and troll you, right? And you got these messages.
Yeah, he had. What happened was he didn't actually send them, but like 4 people in his community said they went to my channel and reported all my videos, and he said, "Good, go fuck up his channel." And then from that point on, there was like I was getting a few thousand comments like an hour, and death threats and private messages and people sending me my own address. It was intense.
See, the thing is about the Patriot.
That's right.
What?
Scott McKay's moving like he's Dave Mahoney's older brother, mate.
The thing is about this forking Patriot meat biter is that he was saying that that he was fighting the real war, and what was it, that you're a pussy and all this bollocks, man. You are a veteran, right? You are.
Yeah. Out of me and Scott, if we're going to talk about who's actually been to war, it's me. He's never been in the military.
Twice, right?
Yeah.
2 wars.
Yeah.
Disabled vet, served his country, patriot. Red, white, and blue in the back. Yeah, and this guy is harping on about how he's fighting the real war, and that Will doesn't know that.
But if the real war is not important, then why would General Flynn be saying?
The thing is his war is saving the children, right? And he's like, oh, what is this guy ever done? Well, not to mention the 2 wars that he fought for your country, right?
Yeah.
Will, you've also actually stopped a kidnapping.
Yeah, that was years ago, but here local to me, I that's what I said. I've saved more kids than you directly. I got involved at a 4th of July event and stopped a kid just by accident. I just saw some guy dragging a kid away, and the cops come over there when I started screaming at the guy, but it was just random. But yeah, if we're counting who saved more kids, I've got one.
This is the thing, right? You are an actual. Yeah, I don't want to make you blush. You're an actual hero, and you're an actual patriot, right? No, he's blushing. So this is the thing. Like, that's what pissed me off, man. When I knew your story, and this guy when he said all this, I mean, it made me laugh, and I had a great laugh listening to you, your commentary. Always, guys, please check out Cold Beer Confessionals, Will's channel, man. He I don't know how he goes for like 6 hours, but literally tears into these people. And Scott McKay is your number 1 fan, apparently. But you've got trolls coming from him.
We actually enjoy the people that come in. I broadcast on Facebook sometimes, and a lot of times that's where you pick up. There's a lot of good people on Facebook. There's a lot of crazy people in Facebook, and they show up. That's the most fun of the whole channel.
Will, what's the connection between Scott McKay and Charlie Ward? How did them 2 link up and come about? Is it just one of those random interview type things?
Yeah, it's just I guess Scott McKay, some people like the fake attitude he has, where he acts like he uses all this lingo and like he's some type of tough guy. Even the name of his channel is Patriot Street Fighter. So he's been kind of blowing up, and Charlie seems to be the type of person that likes to get ahead of, like, before someone blows up, if he can see it coming, so he can use them later. And even Scott McKay went to that shit they had in Las Vegas that Charlie couldn't get to, but they were supposed to do an interview down there. So yeah, it's just leeching off each other, I think.
Yeah. Grifters club type business. I've got you. Yeah.
It's a small club and you ain't in it.
Is Scott McKay on the QFS stuff, or is he just like, patriot?
Yeah. Well, he talks about the reset and how the government's handling that, but he's more on the on like the secret aliens. He said he's got a picture of a 16-foot tall human alien hybrid that's a hot Asian woman that weighs 1,500 pounds or something, and that's what he talks about mostly is aliens and how they're here to help us or fight against us or something.
I got a message earlier. Now, this is at this stage a rumor. It's not verified. I had a message asking me if I knew any more about this situation. The message said Charlie Ward is in ICU, which is intensive care unit, and may not make it. Charlie Ward is in ICU and may not make it. I asked them what that meant, because they were trying to see if we knew any more information. Apparently, he went for a hernia surgery and was then taken to ICU after his last video, and that he's in a critical state and may not make it. Now, let me stress, this is at this time rumor, but there was a reason why I wanted to bring this up, especially since he's not posting. It would appear that he did actually go for surgery. But you know, so this could just be a rumor, but I felt it was important to touch on, especially if it's not just a rumor. A lot of people seem to be hush hush about it. I did try to look into it. There is no news anywhere. I asked people that are in his insider club. They don't seem to have much more. People at least I spoke to. However, yeah, he apparently is in ICU in critical state.
Well, I hope for a speedy recovery for him.
So
you know what? I wish no one any ill will or bad health or anything, you know. And I can't have anything other than you know, a curiosity about what's going on, but at the same time, if someone's ill, you know, my best wishes to Charlie for a speedy recovery.
Thanks, Tony.
And if this is some kind of if this is some kind of joke, then kill you myself. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I wish him the best.
I was going to say that, and Tony, you know, you felt the compassion to say that before, you know, I could, which is great because
don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone about his soft spot, right? This is the thing, you know. We've said this before. Me and Justice have said this before. We have said that, you know, that maybe Greg Hallett has mental health issues. We're doing this for mental health, for the people, right? So we don't wish no harm on him or anyone. So just to make that clear, I hope that it's just a rumor, and I hope that he's not actually that unwell.
It's a rumor.
Yeah, I hope it's a rumor. And if he is that unwell,
they're about to get med beds in 5 minutes anyway. It'll be fine.
Apparently, he knows where the med beds are, so he should be okay. However, let's be real. Let me give my heartfelt look, Charlie. I do hope you're okay. I don't wish any ill harm on you. However, I do want you to stop grifting. It doesn't take away what you're doing in this life. So, the reason I wanted to bring that up, for a start, is obviously that's if that's true, that's pretty big news. But also, what happens, right, when a guy that's in the public eye amasses a lot of money and a lot of following by telling people things are going to happen, right, and then knowing that they're not, right? This just paint this as a scenario,
little hypothesis.
Right, as a hypothesis. Thank you, Justice. So what happens if this guy, majorly in a public eye, has been taking money off people, a lot of money, as we discussed, like hell of a lot of money, enough money to disappear somewhere and fake their own death, right? What happens, right, when they're saying a global system that's going to forgive all your debts? People are not paying their mortgage because of this. People are maxing out credit cards because of this. People are going to be effed over because of this if it is not true, which I believe it will not be, right? Or at least some part of it. There may be a financial reset of sorts. I do not believe in Charlie's Gazara.
Charlie is well aware. We are well aware that Charlie is well aware that there is a financial reset going on. Yeah. He just knows the one he's promoting ain't the one that's fucking happening.
Exactly, not the one that he's painting, right? And him saying pay €11 a month to be in my insiders club, and we will distribute the funds to you know, all you good sports first. I mean, scam alert. But
give me a fiat currency.
Imagine you were in Charlie's shoes right now. And you knew you were lying to these 10 million, or let's say 50,000 people, right? And you are going to be over for taking their money, talking shit. If it is talking shit, right? What would you do? You have now millions of euros, and you would disappear, right? You would fake your death.
Yep.
And time will tell whether he'll come back as CGI or a clone. But what I'm trying to say is, I mean, okay, creating a conspiracy, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting to know.
I mean, along with that, again, we have to look back at his track record with, you know, like you say, the financial reset in his claims, where, you know, you're like, oh, maybe, you know, some of it's true. There's a very, very finite amount of stuff that Charlie Ward says that has any resemblance to truth in it, you know, at all. And so things in that regard, total BS. But, you know, there's been times where he's claimed that he's in Spain, and in actual fact, he's posted something on Facebook or something like that, and the location has led us to see that he's actually in Dubai. So these little anomalies here, you know, where we think he's in Europe and actually he's in the UAE, and, you know, can he go to America? Can he not? What connections and links does he have? You know, although it is, you know, total speculation at this point, we don't even know if he's in hospital or was popping. It is total speculation, but does he have the means, and does he have the ability, and has he lied before about his location? Yeah. So it's not a stupid claim, you know. And like you say, what is the logical conclusion to all of this, really?
Yeah. It was interesting, you know. I did ask this person how and where they got the information from. I didn't get any more answers. I will again stress at this point, it is just a rumor, but I did think that it was a rumor worth bringing up, especially since it appears to have at least some truth in the way that he needed surgery.
Well, there can't be many hospitals in the area.
Also,
you know.
He hasn't been doing as many videos recently. He has looked in ill health, and I'm not sure. I didn't actually get a chance to check whether he'd uploaded a video today, but I'm pretty sure that he hasn't. So, you know, it was worth making a mention. Maybe in the next couple of days, people will be looking over our video and going, "Oh, wait, you know, these guys had said about this." Right. I don't know. Let's wait and see. I'm sure, you know, with such a high profile, by tomorrow we will know something. If that is in some way true, that there will be some sort of release somewhere. Anyway, moving on from that, you know, we've covered a lot of the things. Another one of the things I want to cover is this. I want to chuck it down on the screen for you, Tony. Oh, is it already down there? No, it's not. Bear with. Here you go.
All right.
No, that didn't work either.
Just share the sound as well.
Can you see that?
Whoops.
We'll go.
Sorry. There we go. I hit the wrong one. Sorry, Will. Are you there?
Did you just eject Will?
No.
No,
he was just in the lobby. I didn't eject him from the thing.
If you just ejected Justice. I don't know.
Schumer have thrust upon us. It is so bad.
You got the ball on.
It is so bad that here's what's going to happen. In 2022, we're going to retake the House. Hell, we're only 5 seats down right now as it is. We're going to retake the House, and then in 2024, we're going to have the presidency back on the Republican side, and probably a great deal of the Senate seats and so forth will be ours again. And I think we may have all 3 branches of government there, because everything is so bad now. You've got reasonable people who are in the Communist Socialist Party who are saying, wait a minute, I didn't quite sign up for this. And there are some kooks out there that we need to avoid, ladies and gentlemen, as conservatives. We can't align ourselves with people who will tell you that Administrator Biden was executed 3 years ago for war crimes against humanity. We can't align ourselves with that. Or with people who would say he's a CGI figure. There's 3 different people playing him as an actor. And so we can't, because it's not real. It's not the truth. And so we have to put that aside, and we have to take the brave step of saying, no, the good people are putting these things. They're not bad, but it's just not, it's not true. So we know that Administrator Biden spends his days eating soft food, being tested for cognitive decline, and he goes to bed by about 7 o'clock every night. And that's what we've got.
Going to bed at 7 o'clock every night. That's what we got. So yeah, no
sauce pillow, boom.
Yeah, I agree. That Biden is no catch for a president. But yeah, so this is important because this is Doug Billings, who has interviewed Charlie Ward, has interviewed Simon Parkes multiple times, and I believe he's trying to distance himself now from that. And he's made a few statements like this. this one, I thought was worthy of bringing up, and I want to take it over to the Americans here to talk about what they think about what Doug Billings has said.
Will, have you seen Doug a lot? I mean, I have.
Yeah.
I saw what he's talking about.
I got to the point to where I was personally calling out Doug Billings because he was trying to work both sides. He would have like Simon Parks on Charlie Ward or something like that, and then the next show he would start it by saying, "Now we don't align ourselves with you can only push their narrative so far before you are part of their narrative." And I mean, I'm glad he finally said something. If he's on a TV show now, like it's a very small TV show in like a single state provider, but it's still he's got to straighten his act up. I'm glad he did something.
Well, you know, I do know that he went on to his community college television show.
Yeah.
And as you know, you're absolutely right. It's not any big thing, but I think he's trying to position himself, like you said, between the two crowds. I did hear him say one time when Charlie was on I believe he was signing off, and he said, "Charlie, you've always been a gentleman to me, and I like to have people on that say things that are different, but I think now that he's been on, and who knows, he's probably seen freaking your guys' videos already. He's probably seen Ev's video 30 times.
So Doug Billings has seen my video. Also,
well, no wonder he's doing what he's doing then.
Yeah. So I know that Doug Billings has seen my video, and he's, he had General Flynn. So the thing is with Doug Billings, he's had General Flynn. He's had notable people.
Wait a second, is he the one with the painter?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's
never mind. Everything that I just said, forget. Okay, everything guys, because he's a nutty as a fruit freaking cake. He's that shit crazy.
So he's had General Flynn on plenty of times. The thing is, Charlie Ward was trying to get General Flynn on his channel, amongst who's the other guy I'm thinking of. Basically, 30 Reasons came out, and they had to. What's the other guy? Oh, lost it now. He made a statement saying that Charlie Ward is basically kind of a good guy, and then he had to take it back.
Are you talking about Lynn Wood?
Lynn Wood, thank you.
Yeah.
So he'd been trying to get Lynn Wood and General Flynn on his show, and literally just after 30 Reasons come out, Lynn Wood had put out a thing saying, Charlie Ward's trying to do good. And then he had to put out another statement saying, in light of many messages that people have sent to me, I understand that actually Charlie Ward is controversial. So I think that kind of blew, his chances of that, and maybe even was a signpost, not the reason, but maybe a signpost or a flag along the way for Doug Billings to maybe distance himself. I'm not sure. I think Doug Billings maybe only had done one interview with Charlie Ward. I know he's done multiple with Simon Parks. However, he's made multiple statements like this recently, and the General Flynn interview where he says, he asks him, has the Insurrection Act been called in or whatever, and he says no, nonsense, and he says, is the military in charge? And he says, no, more nonsense. So I thought that was worthy of showing, actually, just because he had associated with Ward, associated with Parks, but also had associated with Flynn and Lynn, and Anyway, any more thoughts on that?
It's all code.
It's all code.
Break it down for us.
It's all code.
We're going to talk about codes next time because there's a Twitter account. I'll just quickly say there's a Twitter account out there of the cleaning lady, which I wanted to show you this time, and she's exposed some of the codes between her and Charlie Ward that she uses. Like, what was it? the fork has run off with the spoon or something like that.
I
Hilarious.
mean,
Guys,
it just gets to the point also where it's just, you know, it does get to the point where it's actually comedy, where if you watch it enough, it's disturbing, you know, for us to say stuff at first, but it's like Silence of the Lambs, you know. If you watch it enough times, you're gonna laugh at certain parts. You know, it's kind of like the same way. It's
True.
you know, it's like, you know,
back to like the Charlie Wood video of him saying he procured those girls and stuff. Like tonight was probably the first time that it actually like slightly infuriated me. Beforehand, for some reason, it had always struck me as somewhat amusing that he just came out with that. You know, it's like what the fuck? Like it's so outlandish that you can only find it humorous. You know, and tonight watching it, I was a bit, you know, it got me a bit agitated almost. But before that, it's like, you can only find it humorous watching this grown man who all these people follow say that he procured underage young girls. You can only find that somewhat humorous, you know.
you know, I'm wondering why are we not seeing Simon and Charlie as much together? You know.
Yeah,
not as many.
And
I haven't seen.
Simon in general, he hasn't been putting out a whole lot of videos. Simon, we've been talking about that on my channel. He took a break for like 5 days, and then he put one out and a break for 3 days, and he used to do multiples a day. So I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to distance himself or get a break, or I don't know.
Running out of content.
No, I mean,
maybe.
You know, I think
maybe. Yeah.
We were just wondering what was up with Simon. We hadn't seen Simon and Charlie lately together.
Let's talk about Simon, right? Because Simon put out a video the other day, and you know, we know some of the stuff that Simon's been saying, and a lot of predictions are not come true. One of his followers recently committed suicide, and I'm sorry to bring this down on such a note.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That turned out to be true.
Yeah. So shall we? I've just chucked the video down there, Tony. So let's watch this video. We'll talk about it afterwards.
You have the ball, sir.
Just a quick update, really. It's more of a shout out. It's become quite obvious a number of people are unfortunately taking their own lives, specifically because they are very concerned about the vaccines, and some people are in employment where they feel that their employer is going to force them to take the vaccine. And very tragically, a member of Connecting Consciousness has taken their own life because they were very frightened that they might have to end up taking the vaccine. And really what my message now is to the membership of CC. If you or you know somebody who's in that sort of dilemma, please do not sit on it. I want you to connect with your immediate coordinator, whichever country you're in. That coordinator will then send a direct message, and if it would help, I'd be more than happy to speak to you quickly. I won't keep you waiting. And so I urge you strongly, if you are in that sort of situation, please speak to your coordinator. Your coordinator will get a message to me, and if that will help, I will Zoom or Skype with you personally to support you. I cannot afford to have any more of my members committing suicide because they feel helpless. Connecting Consciousness was designed to support people, and although we're all very busy at the moment, I will absolutely make it a priority to support you personally and individually. Please don't use this route way because you just fancy a chat with me, because you want to have a talk to me. This is not what this is about, because you will be taking up a slot for somebody who really needs it. So, you know, this is not a fast track to get to me unless it's absolutely crucial.
Right. Yeah. So, firstly, let me say, you know, for the person that has committed suicide, you know, for their families, you know, my heart goes out to them. You know, let's not. We are not joking about this. We just feel it's important to share, and I don't want it to paint us in a bad light for showing this. And also, I have to, I give props to Simon for saying that, you know, to contact him if you're ever feeling like that. However, is there proof that this was around vaccines, or, you know, I mean, I don't know. I've got
a few questions surrounding this thing. Is there proof, like Veritas said, that this person actually existed, or is it just Simon's word that we're taking? If it's just Simon's word we're taking, I'm not taking Simon's word.
Don't they need as much sympathy plays as they can get right now with all the?
Well, this also, right? So 2 minutes ago we were just talking as to why Simon's gone quiet. Perfect reason is because, oh, I've got loads of people calling me because they're about to commit suicide about the vaccine. To me, it seems like he's perpetuating depression onto his followers and shit. That's what it seems like to me from watching that video. I don't know, but unless there's any actual evidence that this person existed or anything, I'm not with it.
He's
Yeah,
also
well, not
pushing the narrative about vaccines when he's out there dealing in fucking hopium, and these people have nothing left to believe in, and then figure out that he's been claiming for the last 20 years that he lost his virginity at 5 years old to an alien, and he's a grifter. Like that, how do you know they just didn't figure you out? If it did happen, how do you know they didn't figure you out?
Will, you've just hit it. You know, my question was going to be: is there, first of all, yes, is there proof that this person existed? However, you know, for me, I feel like it possibly is a crisis within his inner circle, within the collective consciousness group. However, who's to say? Is there, if this is true, was there a suicide letter saying, "Oh, they were going to put a needle in me, so I had to die," or have they just got fed up with being fed bullshit and being a part of some guy's inner circle that is literally all of his predictions have not come true surrounding the presidency and all of this stuff, right? Have they just had enough and gone, you know what? Now I feel like an absolute dickhead for listening to Simon and committed suicide. Is Simon the reason, if this person existed, for the suicide? And we're here because of the effect that these people have on people. And I have no doubt that people are committing suicide because of these people. Is this just an example?
This is the thing, right? We know how volatile some of the people that can follow these people are. They are looking for something to help them and save them and give them direction and guidance through these very difficult times for the majority of people, Most people are struggling to navigate their way through these times. So
there are millions of people that are also involved in public mental health programs that can't get to them as well. There are people like this mental health crisis that people are taking advantage of.
They end up looking and getting magnetized to these sorts of people that seemingly have it all locked on and they know what's popping, right? So we know how susceptible they are. Now, I don't know if this person existed, whether he committed suicide because of the vaccine. Like you say, if there's no proof that he existed, is there going to be proof of a suicide letter that says, "Yeah, I can kill myself because I'm the vaccine"? But to me, like I said, it seems like he's perpetuating this sort of depression and this kind of mental attitude onto his followers. Like, you should somehow be scared of it, get hold of me, get hold of me. It's cool because I know for a fact he's not picking up the phone to no one. I guarantee we should set up something, right, where we get a few people to try and get hold of him, because I guarantee you can't. I bet you can't.
First thing that I thought of when he said that, bro, I'm right with you, that we should let's try and get in touch with him.
Who are these people that he's talking about? You go to your mentor or your correspondent.
He's got a behind this.
Also, is he got like? Does he
have cells in every city?
No, he started.
Is this his Hamburg cell he's talking about?
He started in online forums that dealt with extraterrestrials, and he labeled himself as someone who could like exorcise demons from like outer space and shit. And from that, his first community,
do that. Yeah.
His first community is about consciousness and awakening and ascension, and he has groups that are spread out, and these groups have like a commander, and then they have like a leader, like a first sergeant, and then they have everybody below them, and he's got structure before anybody can call him. You cannot get a hold of him. You have to go through your first leader, your second leader, then him.
So he's a British like L. Ron Hubbard. Like he's got a cult.
What do they call them? Representatives for each country. He has multiple representatives, and they are the people that will message him that he will actually answer. Imagine that there's a like as Will said, it's structured. So he's not going to his popularity blew up. He's not going to answer 150,000 people's and I'm sure people are trying to get hold of him for and that's why he's saying don't just use this as a quick line to me pretending that you're committing suicide, because he probably knows people are going to be like, I'm committing, I want to die. How are you, Simon? so what happened with this having sex with cat aliens? So he's got this whole structure with I know a lot about this actually the Connecting Consciousness group and some of the dark stuff surrounding that. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, as Will said, he's created a structure so that only probably 15 people can directly message him. and they will tell him what's important to respond to.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, look, that was highly depressing. So I want to bring things back up now.
Again, for me, I wouldn't take it as highly depressing because I'm not taken from that situation.
I'm not with it.
Someone that's committed suicide, I wouldn't take that away from that. You know, I would take away from that. We have now got a reason as to why Simon Parks has gone quiet, and that's about that.
Fair. No, absolutely fair. I don't like that perspective because that makes me feel better about it all. Not that it's our fault. You know, you can see.
Someone, by the way, we could bring the tone up a little bit in saying that there was someone in the chat who mentioned, and I just went and looked on BitChute, that Charlie Ward did post 4 programs today, recently in the last 2 minutes.
I saw that. I responded to that.
Is that a proof of life? Is this proof of life?
Oh, or a backlog? Is it a repeat? I don't know. However, what I would say is I did highly stress that was a rumor. I mentioned it, I think, at least twice. This is a rumor, but we're going to talk about this rumor because I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a rumor that could turn out to be true. At the time, I noticed he'd been posting less. He had looked of ill health. So, it's a rumor that I thought could be true. However, I am seeker of truth, and I did multiple times say this is a rumor. We cannot verify this, but we're going to talk about it anyway because I think it's interesting.
6 uploads today. For his BitChute.
There's life in him yet. Plenty more grifts to come. So let's move on. And because there's a few more things I want to touch on before we go tonight. So let's just quickly talk about. There is if you could load this up for us, Tony. There was a vote by people in our community. My friend and someone that follows me, and I follow him. There's a guy Big up Rabbit Leader. Thank you, Justice.
Cool.
Big shout out to Rabbit Leader.
Shouts to Rabbit Leader.
He instigated a vote, which a lot of my group, our group, the community, engaged in, and I think at least a handful of people voted on who are the biggest grifters, and he wanted to make a top 10. So he got loads of votes in. I voted myself. I want to go through the results. I don't necessarily agree with them. There's definitely people I think should be on there, and there's definitely people that I think shouldn't be on there or should be at least 30. But I thought it'd be fun to have a look at this. A big up, Rabbit Leader. Thank you for doing this. And maybe we should in the future actually do like a proper consensus of this and get like a lot of people. I think actually he did.
This will be one for the Griftbusters Facebook, right? In a couple of weeks, and it will bust up.
Yeah. When we load it up, a lot of British voters on this one.
Well, we've got quite a few American followers on Facebook, and not only that, the idea is that you guys both bring your followers along with you. Let's get some more Americans in there. But anyway, so we've got the top 10 here. Charlie Ward made it number 1.
Look at all those people.
You've got Simon Parks second. You've got Tom Numbers. Let's talk about him next time. We've got Tom Numbers third. We've got Sasha Stone. I'm pretty sure that's Sasha Stone. See, the thing is, people made a joke. They made their votes. They then played with the names a bit, and it seems that one of those play with names has made it into the list.
Sasha is actually a really, really good name. I rate that hard.
Yeah, I rate whoever did that. I rate that. David Mahoney, he's rated high, and I have to say, I'm a little bit confused how a couple of people didn't make this top 10. Let's go through the rest of them. You've got Jason Q, you got Huna Flash, you got Robert David Steele CIA. Yeah, I believe that he is. Dave Boxer, who I believe is David Nino Rodriguez. And you've got Vermin, who I believe is Nicholas Veniamin, or as Tony would call him,
Nick Vagina Man.
There's the top 10 from that vote. Now, yeah, to be honest, I was a bit confused at Ioannis 7. I can't even say it. 107 didn't make the list, but I was more, I think that Greg Hallett should have been in there. However, we've not really seen him since October, November time, so he's kind of gone off people's radar. These people are still spouting crap, and Greg Hallett's gone into hiding, so I can kind of understand why he would.
I'm not familiar with Huna. That's the one that I'm the least familiar with, but I saw one of your things. He's the teleporter guy, right?
I have a feeling he's made it so high literally because I've just brought out a video on him.
Yeah, I saw that.
The thing with this list is, I feel like we'd have to compile it in is it who's had the biggest impact as a grifter? As in, Charlie Ward is winning that all day long. Do you know what I mean? He's managed to ride all these waves that he should have his channel should have been obliterated. He should have no followers. He's managed to say some incredible things and still keep it rolling. Or is it how shit they are at what they do? Because obviously, Tom Numbers would therefore be number one. I mean, easily.
Yeah, Tom Numbers would be number one.
In that case, I would probably say that I'd probably say Dave Boxer might not even be in there because he hasn't really done too much. You know what I mean? He's just lingered in the circles. He hasn't really brought too much to the I
think Nick Vagina Man is way too low.
Yeah,
he's way too high. I don't think he should be on there. I
think he's right behind Tom Numbers.
Nah.
But again, it depends how we configure it. If it's in order of the most campus grifter, then again, he's
right. Right. I just feel like
make 5 separate votes. Who's the most campist?
Right. We have to have categories.
Who's the biggest grifter? We should do it.
It's got to be like a Miss America pageant. You have to have an overall winner. You have to have a winner in talent. Dance. Yeah.
It's funny you say about Miss America. I've got something coming up about that, about misinformation. Anyway, let's look at the rest of the list. So here you go. So your best friend, Will, Scott McKay.
Oh, no.
He was number 4 when I looked at the running results. So I really believed Scott McKay was going to make it.
Mel K Ultra.
So this is the rest of that same list, right?
This is the rest of the list.
Okay. Mel K Ultra. Yeah,
Mel
that's great.
It's so simple.
Scott
Alpo Sony.
He got
Alpo Sony.
Mel K Ultra. So Scott McKay just missed it, Will. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I can see you gritting your teeth. You wanted him to be a top number 1.
I'm sure that was probably his followers. They thought it was some type of contest he wanted to win.
Well, they gave him minus votes today.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Who is? See, there are some names on here that I don't even know, but
John
Knapp.
There's
Robert
2.
Potter.
I don't know.
This is. I feel like we're gonna have to definitely make a better, more comprehensive list because people like Oot Savage. I mean, I've seen that dude in a couple videos and that, but again, it's just more of a circle lingerer, isn't it? Really.
Oot Sava's a guy?
No, that's a woman.
Oh,
is it?
Phew.
Yeah, that's.
Someone else.
Isn't that a? Is it a tarot woman? No, it's not. I think it's
some spiritual Indian dude still.
Yeah. Oh, so Kirsten's that fella. Kirsten's that fella from Thailand, right?
No.
Kirsten W.
Sava, I've just received a lot of information about showing how she has been grifting, and my phone's dead, so I can't get it up. But I will share it in the next Griftbusters. Who was it? Kirsten? Did you say that's a woman? Kirsten W. Let's just Scott McKay.
Says you.
Will's good friend. Fuck you, Scott. Mel K Ultra. Gene Decode. You guys must have heard of him. But Sava, we'll talk about her next time. Alpha Sonny, one of Charlie Ward's Charlie's Angels.
Is she one of them? And is also the blue hair girl? Where's Amelia on here? Is she on this? Is there more lists?
Okay. Jay Campbell, I'm not familiar with.
He's some American guy that works with Michael Jaco, who I'm Michael Jaco to me is I just don't.
He's in the top 10.
What?
He's in the top 10. He made it.
He was in the top 10 of this list.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He kicked Scott McKay by 1 vote.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him. He was after Nick Venjamin then.
Yeah, Vaginaman.
Okay, cool.
We've got Cirrus Parser. That's the one that that Charlie Ward got his son to say. Cyrus Parser told me that I was 15 dBing. You got Mark Atwood, who stuck up for Charlie after the 30 Reasons, and also stuck up for Huna after our Huna video, validating his teleportation video, which we punked justice.
That's great.
Yeah, fuck you, Mark Atwood. Mark Steele, Prime Minister, who
is Mark Steele related to Rod?
Prime Minister blocked me on Twitter.
Yeah, Prime Minister lost his account on Twitter after I'm not sure if he blocked me. I didn't go back and check, but I did call him out because he was still saying that Greg Hallett was the king in like October, November time.
You are special.
He is a total Chucky.
And also, he's recently been on with Charlie Ward talking about. I've been told off for saying it was a pyramid scheme. I can't remember what my friend.
There's a woman. There's a woman with them too.
What Prime Minister?
There's a woman with Prime Minister and Charlie Ward. There was a woman on them with them one time.
Oh,
I forget her name.
You're right. Yeah, that was the same stream where they were talking about. I'm trying to remember. My phone is dead, so I can't rely on it. But they were talking. I can't remember what the scheme is called. It's not a pyramid scheme, but they were trying to basically say, look, you don't have. I'm going to promote this. You don't have to promote this to do this. Join us, and not that we're promoting it or anything, but if you sell these things as CBD oil and things, you don't even have to promote it. Not that we're promoting it now, but and so on. So so there's Prime Minister. We've got Kate She. I've not heard of that. Is that a play on words?
I think so, but again, I don't know the reference.
I don't know.
Is she the one that's the Eisenhower granddaughter? Is that the Kate one?
Oh my lord!
No. Hers name's Laura or something.
Oh, okay.
We got John Mappin, who was the Scientologist. Owns that castle.
Weird. Yeah,
very weird. Always on with these misses, and our friend No Ordinary Life 7 has actually met them. But yeah, very, very, very strange. And anyway, moving on. Charlie Freak. I've talked to Charlie Freak. I think he's a very goodly, godly person. Who else?
Them not freaking. They not block me from the live chat, man. Them not suck.
Yeah. Oh, who else? Aussie Sisters. Is that the two sisters that were on the chat earlier that we saw?
With Charlie, the two girls next to each other?
Yeah,
it must be.
Robert Potter. I don't know who that is. And David Curtin. I've heard of him.
In that Harry's uncle.
David Curtin's a politician. I feel like that's a step. I don't know about that.
See, he's only got 1 vote. I voted for Greg Hallett. So Greg Hallett should surely be top of that 1 vote list at least. Anyway, moving on from this, that was a bit of fun. Let's do some proper. Let's do a proper list. Like I say, I'll get that page up and going, and we'll do some voting on that. I want to look at some fan art, right? Okay.
All right, let's go.
Stanford.
I encourage you to send in any art that you have, and we will we will show it on our next show, or if you make the cut, that is. But I want to base this art on an absolute genius. So this segment of fan art is going to be dedicated to our good friend Paul Jackman, who has created some brilliant images. I mean, he is a graphic designer, website designer. If you want to use his services, I'll leave a link in my description. and it will hook you up. But he is not only hilarious, a genius. We said before. Now, because of Paul, in the aftermath of the 30 Reasons, David Mahoney and Lee Dawson got psychologists to psychoanalyze me on the memes that I was sharing, and they assumed or hoped that I was making them, and I had spare enough time to have it run a YouTube channel, run multiple social platforms and groups, and also be a very genius graphic designer. No. Actually, Paul Jackman, a good friend of ours who is hilarious, he's got his head screwed on. I want to give a big shout out to this guy. You know, he has spent his spare time making, you know, because, you know, he feels it's important and he has fun doing so because it's amusing to make a bunch of memes. He doesn't like the word memes, images, I will say for you, Paul. And they have kept my group and people all over entertained. It even entertained Dave Mahoney and Lee Dawson, who had psychoanalyzed me. They'd literally got psychologists to say, yeah, well, M. Seeker of Truth obviously has homoerotic sexual fantasies about you because he does all this and then he makes memes about you too, which is obviously all bullshit. And David would love to think that I got a hard on for him. I haven't. But anyway, let's go into some of these. All right, here's our first one. We got a double feature Blu-ray.
Not coming to America.
He's not coming to America.
Not coming to America.
Charlie Ward had said he was going to America. And then he said that he was denied entry.
Oh, yes. They wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't let him leave.
Oh, mate. I don't know. He said he was going to America. You know, the other side of the video is trading dinars, Zims and Dom, with Tricky Nicky and Doctor the Facts.
Wow. Who told me about Nick's song? We're gonna feature that next show.
Oh yeah, he does have a song. He has a few songs.
Yeah.
Doctor the Facts.
I mean, this guy's clever, man. He's very witty. Anyway, I'll give I'll let you guys try and guess who Charlie Ward's with here.
Cleaning lady, is that who it is?
Is this the cleaning lady?
No, it's not the same ones on the CCTV. It must be a different cleaning lady.
No, but
anyway.
it's a cleaning lady, right?
Still captured from the CCTV at the Central Bank, Weatherfield branch, where Charlie gets to meet his secret intel, head of rubbish and putting clean windows, Miss Hilda Ogden. Ogden, now security expert for the recently installed beautiful computer system. Hilda is not under an NDA, so naughty Charlie was able to pass on this gem to his legion of followers.
Leather vest.
Leather, yeah. That's class. Shocking, isn't it?
Too good of it, honestly. Too good.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
God, no.
What
is happening?
This is nightmare fuel.
This is
confused and disgusted.
you know what? I'm horrified. I'm confused. I'm triggered, but I can't take my eyes off it at the same time.
That's right.
I'm looking right at the nipples.
It's kind of beautiful,
Slightly
isn't
aroused.
it?
And I mean Simon's.
Let's look at the small print.
I thought Simon would have like a few more.
Yeah. Like, what is it? How many do cats have? 8?
I thought he'd have like 8.
Yeah, I think cats have 8. I don't know. The sign says Hilda the Cleaner's Laundromat. The visual is amazing. Who you got? You got the cleaning lady, Hilda, I'm guessing. Charlie Ward strutting his stuff naked.
I'll just fold it then, innit?
You got your friend Tony, Nick the Vagina Man, and then you got Simon slumming it there with his top off.
He is
brilliant.
He is something.
I love this one.
Wow.
Now, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with Dad's Army. Will might be, being a military man.
No, I've never seen it.
And classic comedy, British comedy.
This looks like a British.
You've seen it,
Hogan's
man. You should
Heroes.
watch it. It is very, very. What's that?
It looks like a British Hogan's Heroes.
Dad's Army was a very, very popular British program. There's going to be a few probably because Paul's British as well. There's going to be a few very British memes, I suppose.
Hilda Ogden's from Corrie, isn't it? She's Coronation Street, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Is that who the picture's of as well?
I'm pretty sure Hilda Ogden's like from Corrie back in like the late 80s or something. 70s or
that
something.
would make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't make that connection, but that would make sense actually as a joke.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think some of these jokes in these pictures maybe we will get. I mean,
culturally appropriated.
Yeah, and maybe the Americans won't. Anyway, Dad's Army. I mean, the thing is the comedy in this doesn't really need you to be familiar with the program, but it was a great program. Right. Anyway, mainstream media bring you the episode you cannot miss, featuring the classic line, "Don't tell them, Wardy. Remember, you're under an NDA."
You are under a military NDA.
Yeah. Like you Americans that don't know Dad's Army, I don't ever watch it. I've never watched it really like that. Brilliant. But I know for a fact Charlie knows what it is, and I know that Charlie fucking hates this.
You guys don't have to explain your British shows to us Americans. We get it. This is it. We have something exactly like this called Hogan's Heroes with Bob Crane, who killed a bunch of people and did a bunch of porn in the 70s and died. It was a very strange story. Oh wow! Oh my god, this is fantastic.
Do you have this in America?
What is it?
Yeah, you must do because Harvard students come on it.
It just looks like a debate, kind of, right? Like a college debate.
It's a quiz bowl or whatever, right?
Yeah. We got
quiz contest.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, we have stuff like that.
So on this team, you've got Grifton College, Milton Keynes, which is a town in England. So welcome to University Challenged, not challenged.
Universally challenged.
Universally challenged.
Fantastic.
Oh my lord.
That is such a brilliant play on words. A universally challenged. Dr. Ward is not a firm believer in university education, but he has managed to rustle up a team of his peers to represent him on tonight's episode. Your starter for 10 tonight is: if a website claims to have 10,375,700 followers, how many are actually following? Remember, no conferring unless it's with the cleaning lady.
Hilarious.
Brilliant. Top marks, Paul. Top marks. Here you go. Right, now this is disturbing.
Oh my god.
Right? I don't know if you've seen. I've still not seen the interview. But, I have double checked with the people that with Paul as well, actually. And Charlie Ward actually said this of his time. You know, his parents ran a farm, whatever. Anyway, let's just read it out. So, a Big Fact Hunt Film Farmers Weekly co-production presents A Private Function: Tales from a Norfolk Farm Boy. So the small print says, I often think about my days on the. This is a quote from Charlie Ward on the 5th of March 2021. So guys, go and check this. But I have double checked this validity. Apart from I haven't seen the video, but I often think about my days on the farm. I used to get on the back of a little piggy and hold their ears together. Okay, I don't know if it's word for word correct. This is what he said. I used to get on the back of a little piggy and hold their ears together and nick my dad's electric. I can't read it. It was one of those electric prong things. And he used to hit the pigs with it, and they made a sound that was sounded like they were wheel spinning. Oh, wee! And off they went. You'd get told off for that now. And I do believe that we need to double check this. Along the lines of what he said, he used to get those electric, what are they called? Hit the pigs with them.
A prod.
Prods.
You
Cattle prod.
said about taking a cattle prod to a pig, mate.
Yeah. And
That's like,
and he used to enjoy doing
that's-
that as a kid, but he's saying, yeah, but nowadays that wouldn't be accepted.
No,
I mean,
suppose
whether
not.
that's legit or not, I feel like Paul has really highlighted, you know, some of his character there. A lot of this, you wouldn't get away with it these days, but the things I used to do, you know,
Yeah.
Herbie prick.
Anyway, let me repeat. I don't know if that's word for word exactly, but I know that it's based on the truth. So, moving on. Yeah. So here you go. Is that reference to Miss
Oh my
Universe?
God. That's where he won the cufflinks.
Charlie ran for Miss Universe, and he was
Oh,
crowned
no.
Miss Information. POTUS salutes new pageant princess. Brilliant. What else have we got? Dr. Charlie Ward and the
my.
Hooray! Or Grifters in that photo. Who you got? You got Tom Numbers.
Dimension.
The Fifth Dimension.
So fucking good.
Too much.
You got Tom Numbers.
Very much too much.
Nicholas Finney-Armin. Simon Parks leading the choir. You've got Charlie Ward and Dave Mahoney.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh no.
But this one has some brilliance. It's Charlie Ward. It's very simple, this one. It's Charlie Ward. Can you see my cursor?
No.
No, it doesn't show on the screen.
Okay. You got Charlie Ward here sitting at his desk, looking at his high-tech quantum financial computer, no doubt. You can see on the left a picture of his friend Jimmy Savile. You can also see a calendar, and pinned to the calendar is a post-it note with the cleaning lady's number on it. Brilliant. Right. He's also done some news channel stuff. Like, you know, he's been on some news channels. At the top there, you've got Charlie Ward's driving license. This is what a driving license look like in the UK, guys. And it says clearly on it, not a doctor.
Not a Dr. Ward.
It's also got, if you see over on the top right-hand corner, it's got the gold by post reveals that most of their bullion contains a very high cocoa content, and it's those chocolate coins.
Jacob's pillow, bro. The whole thing. Like, look, he's so good.
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk about Greg Hallett one episode, man. We've got so much on him. Like, it seems ridiculous that we're not, but I'll leave that out for now. But yeah, Jacob's pillow with Greg Hallett up on the top there. You've got David Mahoney and Huna Flash in the bottom left.
Now that is news. That is news.
What happened there? Did it freeze?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah. That's the first time I've ever seen a British driver's license, I think.
Obviously, I've done the.
There he goes.
Nope, gone again.
He was there for a minute, wasn't he?
Okay, yeah, you've got David Mahoney and Huna Flash, unknown to the feature budget remake of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Guys, go and check out the recent video on Huna Flash on my channel, and a lot of it is about mine and Justice's experience with him. We made a video on their documentary about opening stargates and portals. Once David Mahoney had got bored, kind of bored with the king, fake king, he went on to then make a documentary about why Huna Flash was associated with him, which was hilarious. And then we got some kickback from Huna, and we ended up interviewing him. And Huna had told his followers that he was teleporting, and we managed to literally, in interview, make him admit that he was lying. So that's hilarious. So in the middle, you've got amazing proof that alien life forms presented by an ex-driving instructor and local councillor.
That's it.
Numeracy genius has a eureka moment by consulting the doctor. I simply make up realms of irrational facts based on numeric values for words, and the Patriots think I'm amazing. That's Tom Numbers. And there was another news report. The top left, expat businessman living in luxury receives rare gift of cufflinks from POTUS. If you've seen, well, all you've seen, you will know that Charlie tried to pass off some cufflinks that he blatantly bought off eBay, were directly sent to him from the President of the United States, which was bullshit. I'll give you a link, by the way, guys, if you want to buy the same cufflinks that Charlie apparently got from Donald Trump. I'll give you a link to buy them. They're about $200. Let's not go through them all. We've got one in the middle top of Huna and David Mahoney. Please, guys, go and watch that video. That's hilarious. We've got one about David Nino Rodriguez on the right. Yeah, man, this is funny stuff.
Ex-pro claims JFK would be a good boxer as he couldn't take shots to the head.
I've seen that one.
Oh my
In
God.
Gothic. One for the
That
art
is
fans, he says.
Hilarious.
Oh, and before I skip this one, you got Simon Parks and Charlie Ward in front. Can anyone see who's in the window?
Oh
shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
I can't tell.
Yeah, it's too small. It's Vagina Man.
Oh, that's
shit.
funny.
Now this one was based on Tony's work.
That's great.
Wow.
Charlie Chuckies.
The old Chuckies.
His round little head. Oh.
It's just, this prick will not be good for you. Holding a needle. Now, guys, this is maybe a UK thing. I don't know if you ever heard of the band Take That.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
They were massive in the UK back.
Robbie Williams was in them.
Is the lead singer of this band the guy that's going out and talking about stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robbie Williams was
Or
in
is
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie Williams. Yeah, he has come forward and said about UFOs and things like that. One of their key songs was "Want You Back," and so they put "Fake That" instead of "Take That."
Oh, that's
funny.
funny.
"Watch Your Back" instead of "Want You Back," and he's put some other titles in there which are brilliant. Guys, do come and join our community to see some of these memes and Paul's work. It's brilliant. But just to point out what guys have got in the band there, they've got Huna Flash at the back, they've got David Mahoney and Greg Hullett in the middle, they've got Charlie Ward in the front middle, and then they've got, it looks like David Q on the right there.
Huna Flash is the real Flash.
I love this. I love this one. Guys, go and see that Huna Flash video, please. And I think there's got to be a Just Truth coming up. Justice.
Yeah, man, we'll do it.
Reviewing their next video. But they're basically they're in Mexico at the moment, or they were in Mexico. They've just finished filming there, and they were investigating Aztecs, Mayans, and all of that stuff. Dumb and Dumber. What? Dave Mahoney and Huna Flash there. So that's
why
funny.
are they doing that?
Oh wow.
No. You're gonna open up a whole Pandora's...
that's another can of worms. Okay, we'll do another show.
Yeah, it's the closed stargates and portals. That's
okay. Oh yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Simple as that.
Girls
Mate.
on the train.
Simple as opening and closing some stargates and portals.
Simples, isn't it?
Right. It's that easy.
That's
right,
that's buddy.
So I don't know if anyone knows, Dave Mahoney, on his way back from filming that, was apparently stopped on a train for not wearing his mask, and he got into a scuffle with the Spanish police, right? And it ended up with him saying, I have my rights, and then nearly every single passenger on the train started cussing him out, telling him that, get off the train, go back to England, you have coronavirus. Fuck you, whatever, right? So he made a video afterwards whilst holding a mask in his hand, which he blatantly worn, and he'd obviously written this complaint. Yeah, this says the thriller absolutely no one is talking about, well, except from us right now, I guess. Big girls blouse on the train.
Oh.
Guys, I'm not going to read the small print, although it is hilarious. Go and check out the memes on our Facebook groups and the communities.
That's awesome.
To find out more,
These are
but that is
amazing.
as F. Right, okay.
So funny.
Bit of context on this. David is getting arrested on the train. People are unimpressed wearing masks, and PC, Seeker of Truth, is escorting him off.
There's your old gig. You worked on the trains, didn't you?
It's when you used to be a
Here
cop.
is the proof that David Mahoney needed. I am a copper.
Yeah.
And it says, breaking news, fellow passengers in uproar as investigative, truthful journalists for the people, from the people, forcibly escorted from Spanish rail carriage from breaching rules. No comment by local police as yet.
That's a regular elderly riot right there.
What's funny is people are asking, why isn't the copper wearing a mask? And I'm like, hey, you do know that's me. I'm exempt.
Right.
Copper, yeah, English for police.
Exempt, yes.
Babylon.
Bobby.
Yeah, that's our fan art section.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Those were all hits. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so
thank you in the chat.
Yeah, those are great.
Everybody tap in with their fan art. We love it.
Yeah. Let's have some more fan art, please, guys. Send some in. That's brilliant. I mean, I've got a whole catalogue of Paul's work. I mean, he does take pride and much humour in making this, so that's great.
Oh yeah.
It's right.
It's
So last thing to share before we head off. No, so the last thing to do rather is take some questions from.
Oh, I can do. By the way, I can do this. Hold on. Hopefully you can see it. Maybe. Can you see the? Can you all read the chat? That's the. I can put the chat up like that. There aren't many questions. I was going through it just a second ago. Is justice will unirock? That was a question. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, who asked that? Who asked that a sec? Will?
Mr. Bozo.
They even asked if you remind him about Nathan Oakley bedroom expose. I shared that a while ago. From Mr. Bozo Head. Oh no, did I freeze?
No.
Or did Justice freeze?
I think we're all just thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, bro. Yeah, no, hit me again, Mr. Bozo Head. I don't really. I know who Nathan Oakley is. I'm not too sure who Unirock is though, and I didn't know that you knew Nathan Oakley either, Mr. Bozo Head. That's a bit of a mad one. But yeah, in terms of questions, actually, let me pose this to all of us for like a little conclusion one, maybe. What is it that we all take from this? How do you feel about Charlie Ward as a human, as a person, as an individual?
I'm not. I guess I can go first since I was already making noise. The whole reason I started in this was at first it was just kind of to have fun, and then we got some people in our community that had like family members or themselves had been like grifted by it, and man, it's horrible what they're doing to some people. And earlier we were talking about like someone taking their own life, and we might not know if that's true or not, but a lot of these people are disowning their families. They won't speak to anybody who doesn't believe what they do. So they're like breaking away from everybody, sending in their social security checks. And we had one person who spent their last bit of money in their savings account to install a ham radio antenna because they thought Donald Trump was going to contact them by ham radio when everything went off. Like, I'm not very fond of what they're doing just because of the effects it has. If they come out here and it was just playing a part, that would be one thing, but they're affecting some real shit and have a lot of power, honestly. If they said I need everybody to show up here and bring this, they would get a lot of people there, and that's scary sometimes.
Stand on your hands with a dress and be on the corner of 5th and Main at 3:33 and tell them numbers will give you the rest.
Yeah.
Coordinates.
You know, the thing that got me actually started in, sort of like I've kind of been exposing things that I see for a while. The first thing that got me going was, and you could see the video on my YouTube, there's an Alec Baldwin video. I made a video. Alec Baldwin made a video of like a 15-minute video about me, and was complaining about my YouTube, and I was like, oh well, I had a nerve with this guy. You know what I'm saying? So then a little bit later came down, and I started to see what was going on with these people talking, and then I saw this girl named XO Odyssey who claims she was a trafficking victim, and we got to cover hers. We could do a whole show on her, but she was somebody who was very much like young Pharaoh was sort of, and I'm tapping on names. We don't have to talk about them a lot now, but these were the things that I was seeing. I saw that young Pharaoh was kind of, to me, bullshit, and this girl was, once again, taking tens of thousands of dollars at a time because she's telling this BS story. Then I started to listen to Charlie Ward a little more, X22, and I'm like, this is just kind of BS. Then I saw the video because I started to search for Charlie Ward fraud. I heard something that he said, and I was like, all right, that's it. You know what I mean? I'm done. Right. So I started to search Charlie Ward fraud. Then I found M's video. So, my opinion of Charlie was established pretty early on, is that I think that he's just taking advantage, and that's the takeaway that I get. He's just someone who is exactly what we talk about here. He is a grifter.
Absolutely. And that's what the Griftbusters are here for.
Is how often is the show going to be, and all that stuff? Or are you planning on doing it weekly? Or
here's the thing, we're normal people, normal lives, so I'd like to do this regularly. But what I have learned through doing videos and things is to not give well, this translates into the people we look into, to not give dates and times, and
we really don't want to get locked into that.
What we'll do is we'll do episodes when we have an established subject matter. So when we're talking about a specific individual or a specific grift or whatever, that's when we'll be going and doing a video. If there's nothing to talk about, we won't be doing nothing. So
well, I mean, that's the thing. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, we have plenty to cover.
And we'll get a lot of information from the groups, and we do all the time get a lot of information. So there's always stuff for us to report on. And there will be more if you guys can support that. However, we are normal people with normal lives, with families, and that's what's important to note. So I'd love to do this regularly. But there's no way I'm going to give you guys a regular time. What we will do is we'll give you plenty of notice. When us four guys, go, what, next Thursday we'll get together, I'll be straight on all of our social platforms going, what, we've agreed it. The Griftbusters 2, Griftbusters 3, Griftbusters Infinity. I mean, this is going to be, this show is, we're going to do plenty more of them. And we will do. But we will not give you a regular time, because I can't give you a regular time. Me personally, regardless of the other three, I don't throw out things regularly. I throw out things when I can, when I do, when I want. And, I do them all for very little gain. The most gain that I get is from the value that people find in my work. So we're going to do regular Griftbusters. I'm definitely going to get back with you three guys. You guys are awesome. And I'm glad that, I got in touch and, we all, have made this. This has been brilliant. And we definitely should make more. I think this is probably my favourite thing that I've done so far.
Some wicked extra questions here. Cat Paz says, who do you all think the cleaning lady is on Twitter?
No, I'm not answering that.
Why not?
Because I think I know who it is.
But you don't, definitely, right?
The mystique about
you don't have insider information, is what you're saying?
Are you holding back inside intel?
Do you have intel? Do you have intel?
I will tell you who the grifter lady is.
Or the cleaning lady.
Oh well, there's your answer.
Grifter lady.
Message M. He thinks he knows, but he ain't telling us. So there we go.
He's got secret intel.
Do you think
source.
the censorship is part of the psyop?
I could so charge people $11 a month for this, couldn't I?
Mm.
Go 12. What was it again? The question.
Do you think censorship is part of the psyop?
Part of the psyop. Now, I don't know what kind of censorship he means. Does he mean the Q pages being taken off of YouTube and these other places, Twitter and whatnot? Is that part of the psyop to make it seem more legitimate? I personally would say, yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
I believe that censorship it adds to the mental, to the psychological factor, right?
Yeah,
So
it solidifies the narrative. That's all it does.
If it affects somebody psychologically on a large scale, it is a psyop by nature. That's the first way you could tell. It has a negative connotation, but a psyop is a psyop is a psyop. Should I have this mic on the floor now.
I have one more. Someone said, I don't think there is so far in the U.S., but I guess over there for where you guys are, is there any, if they brought Charlie up for, could they get any of these people on any type of law for what they're pushing out and what they're saying on the internet?
Not in the UK.
Wow.
They live in Spain.
Okay.
Different set of laws.
I'm not too sure. I think that depends if he's a British citizen or not. Do you know what I mean? Whether he can still be tried here. I'm not too sure if he's a British citizen or not. Yeah, I think so. I think. But as well, I think that also depends on how a court of law would perceive people giving him the money. You know, did he genuinely know that he was giving out false information? That's probably what would have to be proven, you know? And in terms of, someone like David Rodriguez, for instance, it's my belief that he probably believes most of the stuff he's spouting because he doesn't seem like the sharpest tool in the box, you know what I mean? Whereas Charlie, obviously, we know that he knows he's spouting shit most of the time, but it's that proof of intent that would be hard to do. And yeah, I'm not too sure, but would the powers that be bring Charlie to justice? No, because essentially what he's doing is, whether he's directly working for them or not, spouting this sort of thing is indirectly doing them a favor, so they're not going to care about him, what he's doing.
Gotcha.
Right.
I think that's it.
Thanks for the questions, guys. Think of some questions for next time. I'd be interested.
Mr. Bozo Head said he sent you some more art to add to the bank as well.
Thank you, Mr. Bozo Head. You are a valuable part of this community, so we all really appreciate your work, and I'm sure actually we will feature some of your work in the future. Now, guys,
Bozo Head, I want to say big up No Ordinary Life 7 as well. She's in the chat, man. Big up, Sarah.
Oh yeah, what's up,
man? You stole that from me. I was about to say it. Her in the chat too. So big up No Ordinary Life 7, and guys, go and visit her channel. She's got some
she's wicked,
great videos on these grifters as well, and she's done a lot of work, and she's a very good friend of mine, Justice. So we appreciate you going and checking out her channel. But enough of that, plugging other people. Let's plug ourselves to the end of this, and we will make more Griftbusters. This has been, I feel, a historic, or will be a historic broadcast. The tide is changing. People are starting to realize that there is a network, a secondary mainstream media collection, a circle, a tight-knit circle, one that is very, very popular with people. And this is clogging up your airways. It is literally, you'll make fun of people for watching a mainstream media, and then you'll watch a guy claiming that he's got claiming he's got 5% of the world's population, which I think I calculated in one of the. Oh no, I didn't show that video. I think works out as something ridiculous, like 300 million. I don't know. Anyway, a lot, too many people, and ridiculous. 5% of the world's population, Charlie claims, is watching his videos.
Crazy.
So look, guys, what I'm trying to say is, everyone's tuning in to a select few people, and these few people all, are in this circle, and you guys think you're in not you guys, but like people think they're in a club, by and in an exclusive club, and being, oh, we're not part of the mainstream. No, you're part of the secondary mainstream, right? We are
called this stuff for the longest, you know what I mean? Like these truth, you know, these realms of thought that we dwell in and stuff, I call the secondary school of thought. You come out of the first, you get brought into the second, and it's not like they don't control the second. It is more dangerous than the first, you know. The first is an overt deception. You get into the second and it becomes a whole lot more tricky. So you have to pay attention, people, and be vigilant when you're doing these sorts of things, because yeah, the deception runs deep.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I am M Seeker of Truth. You can catch me on Twitter at M Seeker of Truth. You can catch me on Facebook at M Seeker, one word, of Truth, second word. You can catch me on YouTube, where you should catch me by just simply searching M Seeker of Truth. I'm going to hang it around the group, guys. Justice, where can we find you?
Yeah, Justice, you can hit me on Twitter as well, just farms with a PHARMS 5555, and also on Instagram, farms_oner ONER. Get me on YouTube. Justice. But yeah,
Nice.
you're on YouTube, Justice, you know, I'll be dropping videos every now and then. And yeah.
Will, where can we find you?
Just about everywhere under Cold Beer Confess, if it won't fit, or Cold Beer Confessional. Surprisingly enough, except for YouTube, it's youtube.com/Willbird, but the channel names is Cold Beer Confessional. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Yeah, man. Respect your channel. And finally, but not lastly, Tony, where can we find the Veritas
Thank you so much.
Machine?
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is really great, guys. We got to do this again so soon. You can catch me at the Veritas Machine, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. My parlor looks like it's coming back soon. And, you know, I have a Patreon. All the links are in my bio, where I'm going to be doing some bloodline seminars. So I hope you will join me. If you want to get in touch with me, hit me up on Instagram. That's the best way.
Fantastic. Now, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the live. It's been a great show. We're going to do many more. I'm going to sign out with showing once again the CCTV footage that we have of the cleaning lady.
I'm like,
yes.
Hello.
I'm not the Messiah. I'm just Charlie. So can you help me?
Oh no, I'm just a cleaner. I'm not qualified to give financial advice, but I will do my best to be helpful.
Oh, okay. So how's it going in there?
Oh well, you know, it's quite quiet. No one here to answer the phones.
What do you think of the new computer system? It's nice, isn't it?
Oh well, it's beautiful. I've just been cleaning it just now.
When do you think they're going to turn it on then?
Well, I suppose I haven't signed any non-disclosure agreement, so I can tell any Tom, Dick and Charlie about it. I think it will be the beginning of April. Not long now.
Because she's not under an NDA, she's just being helpful. And I was being naughty.
You are being naughty now. I really must get back to work. These supercomputers are not going to clean themselves.
Sadie, the cleaning lady.